So I finally got to see it, and I gotta say that everyone was absolutely wrong about Snow White.
This was my father's kingdom. A place of fairness. But the Queen changed everything.
Take him away!
Your Majesty.
What did you say?
After what seems like decades of waiting and anticipation, Disney's live-action Snow White remake has finally seen the light of day. Everyone and their mother was trashing this movie before even having seen it, and Rachel Zegler practically became the 21st century's most viral meme. But was the movie really as bad as everyone was expecting? Did it have any positives? And what exactly does it have in common with the Lion King live-action remake? Join me, dear viewer, as I dive back into the raging dumpster fire that is modern Hollywood. Before we dive in, take a quick second to hit that subscribe button, and if you really want to make sure you never miss out, ring that notification bell too. It'll help us break through the YouTube algorithm and keep this channel growing strong. It seems to me that Disney has committed unforced error after error. First it was the Star Wars sequel trilogy, then it was the disaster that was Marvel's Phase 4, and don't get me started on the disaster that has been Disney+. But one thing I didn't mention in that list has been the live-action remakes. Rachel Zegler's Snow White is by no means the first soulless live-action remake of beloved classics. We've gotten The Jungle Book, Cinderella, Mulan, Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and even The Lion King, among others. And what all these remakes have had in common was just how soulless, flat, and uninspiring they all were. And Snow White is no different. It was by no means the first live-action remake I found soulless, but The Lion King especially lacked all the magic and wonder that made the original 1994 cartoon version so iconic and legendary. All the songs, set pieces, and voice acting was extremely uninspired. 2025 Snow White is no different. The movie follows the same general pattern with these movies. It has the same boring, flat, and uninspired set pieces with a toxic dose of CGI diarrhea thrown in for good measure. But what makes Snow White stand out above the rest of the live-action remakes was the off-screen drama surrounding everything about the film. From the actors saying dumb shit to the press, to the miscasting of characters and numerous rewrites and reshoots, this film had so much controversy that the controversy itself was better than any movie Disney could churn out. But now that the film finally released, was it really as bad as everyone expected it would be? That's the thing. I can't give a definitive answer one way or the other. I would actually have to say yes and no. Are there redeeming qualities to this film? Sure. For example, as annoying and obnoxious as Rachel Zegler might be in real life, she turns in a halfway decent performance. She's a classically trained actress who's been taking voice lessons since she was 12, so she can definitely carry a tune. Her demeanor throughout the entire movie, to me, seemed that she was actually scared. Her fear of being ridiculed and derided in the media really showed, especially in the scenes that were very obvious post-reshoots. The poor girl caught so much shit for the things she said off-screen that I honestly feel bad for her at this point. It seems to me that she was just trying to fit in an industry that, quite frankly, is extremely toxic in a wide variety of ways. She said the dumb shit she said simply because she didn't want to anger the woke mob and just fit in. The same, however, cannot be said for Gal Gadot. How long are we gonna go on pretending that this woman can act? Her only saving grace is her beauty, which is rapidly fading. Her performance as the evil queen fell so flat and quite frankly disjointed given the various reshoots that no one, not the producers, not the director, not the writers, could make Gal Gadot a compelling Disney villain. In contrast to Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot also can't sing for shit. The sound editing and dubbing was so jarring that some points I could see the frame-by-frame audio adjustments taking place just like I have to do when I edit out my lag in Adobe Premiere. Gadot's performance was absolutely horrendous. As for the plot and various liberties the writers took in adapting this to live screen, well, that's where I can get a bit nitpicky. The set photos we saw, which we all assumed were the dwarves, were really a band of merry, diverse, and inclusive bandits led by Jonathan, a character that is the stereotypical mold of what Hollywood likes to see in male leads. At every turn, he's blocked and not allowed to act like a real man, a hero in the story who rescues the princess. Hollywood should really take a note from Shigeru Miyamoto and just let the male lead rescue the princess like Mario has been doing since 1983. Now, as for the CGI dwarves, this is really the stuff of nightmares. These creatures are so horrific looking that they look like they escaped from H.P. Lovecraft's towns of Arkham, Kingsport, and Dunwich. I'd honestly like to hang out with the likes of Dagon and Cthulhu than these CGI monstrosities. You know what the ironic part about all this is, though? One of the merry bandits is an actual little person. Do you know how difficult it is for little people actors to get roles in Hollywood? This movie was tailor-made for the likes of Peter Dinklage, Warwick Davis, and Tony Cox. If this movie wanted to be truly inclusive and diverse, it would have hired real little people to play the dwarves rather than these walking CGI nightmares. The only saving grace of Disney's live-action remake of Snow White was surprisingly Rachel Zegler. That poor girl caught so much shit for trying to do her best that I'm very happy that she did a good job in the role. She really did her best with the shitty script, shitty direction, and shitty production she got. I also have to give her credit for even putting on that $5 costume from Party City that they gave her. Should you go see Snow White in theaters? Hell no. Don't give Disney another cent until they start making original films once again. And until then, enjoy the plethora of great movies that have started releasing in 2025. But what do you guys think about all this? Did this movie deserve the hate it got? Do you think that Rachel Zegler redeemed herself? And will Gal Gadot ever get work again after proving she can't act for shit? Please do let me know down below in the comments, and as always, hit that like button, ring that notification bell, and smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.
Okie dokie.